Welcome to another 3D comparison video. So I received the following comment regarding Vizcom Max model. So if that can compete with other well-known 3D generative AI. So let's take a look over here. I have over here the following chair. And also within that question, I was asked if this is mainly for cars or if it can be used for anything. So we're gonna see the overall limitation of this. So I have over here, this is the Sharp model, so this is a legacy one, and I will just reveal now the new Max one, which will be the following. And we can already see the amount of detail, especially over here within that cushion within the chair. So underneath the chair, it will look like this. Now, I do consider that Vizcom is really good for industrial applications, such as car design, furniture, various appliances, and so on. But for other components, it's not that great. So let's take a look over here at some case studies. So you already saw this one with the cars. So I'm just gonna go over here and I'm gonna show you some different hypercars in this case. So this will be one of those models. As we can see, regarding the texture, even though this is set to high detail texture, overall the textures are not that great. But what really impresses me over here is the fact that the geometry is so clean. For example, for this hypercar over here, we see that only for the windshield we have those weird surfaces. But other than that, for the overall chassis of the car, this is pretty well defined. And I'm pretty sure that this will just get better. So if I'm going to zoom in a little bit, we're going to see that this is the output. We see over here, even for the rims, the design is quite good, even though it will have those small elements that don't make any sense. Let me just show you over here the original one. So we see that rim design and how the AI outputted that. Now, again, for other hypercars, it will output incredible mesh. So in my opinion, far superior to other tools. But what is really weird is the fact that Vizcom seems to be well paired with that. So it will output incredible meshes regarding cars and other industrial applications. But take a look over here at this one. So this is the Dragon. If you follow my channel, you know that I made multiple videos regarding this, also within Hitam 3D, Rodin, and other tools. And this will be the output using Vizcom. In this case, this was using a single image, but you can also use multi-image input. And take a look over here at some weird elements. For example, over here where we have the arm of the dragon, it's weirdly extended and lacks any details. If I'm going to rotate over here to the back, we're going to see that it will be completely blank. So keep in mind that you can also use multiple layers. So you can use multiple images, up to 4 currently within Vizcom to generate. But we can already see that it's not that great adding fine details onto elements like this. So over here, the other tools, both Hitam 3D, Rodin, and Tripo will output better results. I have over here this hedgehog, which is a model that I usually create with the other tools. And you're going to see over here that even regarding the overall geometry reconstruction, it's oddly over here since it added that additional texture with an additional eye. But other than that, this is not that bad. So overall, this is a lot better than the dragon. Let's see over here for the characters. For example, I tried this one, and from what I recall, it didn't manage to output this. So let me just hit generate and see if it will manage to do it so. With this same character, I had great results, and we see that we have an unexpected error while processing this. So if I'm gonna go over here, maybe with detail smooth, I'm just curious if this will manage to output. But from what I can see, Vizcom will struggle with characters. We see that the smooth model has started to be processed, so maybe the overall build of the character has some problems with the Max algorithm. It doesn't really know exactly how to address those fine details, and I think it will just output an error. I will just add it over here again, and we see that the smooth version 2 has started to process. Also, again, the max one will give us that warning. This robot is also one of the popular models, so if I will hit generate with the max, we're gonna see that again I will receive a notification that there's an error. And again, if I will go for an older model, it will output that. I can also go with high details and high texture. Let me just see if that will process, but I'm pretty sure that the max version for this won't process. And if you follow my channel, you know that the other models managed to output good results with that. So yeah, overall, Vizcom is really amazing, but it is mainly intended for industrial applications. We still have that warning from the robot. This is also one of the popular models that I use to analyze within various other tools. And we see over here that overall the shape for the horse is good. We have the right amount of details and the right amount of legs over here in orientation. But we see over here for the weapon of the warrior, that will not actually go through his hand, and it will just be over here in the front and to the back. So not that great. Let me just see if this character is now being ready. And we see that everything above this, so only the smooth character, the smooth algorithm actually, will manage to process. This is still at 50%. So let me just go ahead over here. And in the meanwhile, I want to show you an additional model. So we have this additional hypercar. And over here, we're going to see that the geometry for the rims will be a lot better. It was also easier than the previous car that I've shown within this video. But take a look over here how well those, let's say, the shapes over here on the exterior of the car are defined. So this is really impressive. We have that inner cutout well defined. We have the one over here in front. Again, so many details that have been properly extracted. So in terms of car design, Vizcom is far beyond the other tools. But as we saw for other elements, such as, for example, for this dragon, this output is still not that good. So this means that overall Vizcom is not trained for elements like this. We see over here now, I also saw, look at the overall proportions of the head, and it looks to have two necks over here. So that is something that initially I missed. Now, let's see this character. It should be finished. So I'm just going to hide the reference. And yeah, this is actually not that bad, considering that this is the smooth algorithm. I just want to check the geometry. Yeah, so I see that overall for characters, it's not that bad, but keep in mind that this isn't their latest state-of-the-art model over here, so the Max one. It's actually the smooth version too in this case, but it's not bad. So overall, we could maybe 3D print this character. Over here, we see that there are some problems with the beard, but that is normal considering that this is generative AI. And it will still take a little bit of time until we're going to have those fine details. So most likely those will never be within generative AI, and they will just be added separately with various modifiers that will better represent those hair elements. Okay, so I hope you overall understood that Vizcom is really good at some elements, and I'm pretty sure that it will get a lot better. For cars, I see that the constant working and fine-tuning of the model managed to finally output some incredible results, and it is, in my opinion, by far the best for that approach. So if you are working with an engineering, industrial, environment background, I do think that Vizcom is currently the best solution. You are working maybe with some VR applications or AR application or game development. I do consider that other tools will offer better output in this case. So if you check my channel, you can better see what are the main advantage of each solution. So you can better pick the one that you will invest in. Okay, so we also have the the robot over here. So yeah, as we can see, this will be decent. So considering the fact that this is using the older Sharp model over here, the geometry will be as following. So it's not bad, but it's actually not good compared to the competition over here. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this kind of content. You're gonna find a similar video over here on the left, and I will also add a subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.